Morning, Kylie. Thanks for meeting me out here at the beautiful, historic Yunker Farm. The bandshell here and the newly renovated barn behind us. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm Kylie. I've grown up here in Mokena since I was born. I've been acting professionally since I was 4 years old, and that inspired me to go to film school at DePaul, which now I'm majoring in directing. And yeah, I'm doing my my debut directing short film this spring.
Awesome. And we're out here because you're going to be filming it largely or all in Mokena, right?
We're going to be filming some parts here in Mokena. We're going to be filming a good majority of the rising action here in Mokena of my film. For example, we're going to be filming a scene with a band at this bandshell here, and we're going to be filming a scene also at the creamery.
Wow, some cool local spots here. And then what about the other locations? You'll be in the city for those?
Yeah, so we're going to be filming either on campus at DePaul for those or in just random streets around Chicago.
Wow. Well, so tell us, you said you started acting at 4 years old. What were you doing at 4 years old?
So at 4 years old, my family actually helped me get into on-camera acting. I started out in student films myself, mostly at Columbia and DePaul actually. And then from there, I moved on to indie films, and I started theater when I was 8. So yeah, I've been doing this for a while.
What have been some of your favorite productions to be part of?
Ooh, so theater-wise, it probably has to be this one musical that I did when I was 17 called Violet. I performed it at the Drama Group. It was such an amazing musical, such a great story. Film-wise, probably a film that I did when I was 10 called The Orange Story. Also, great story, very, very powerful message, and those are some of my favorites.
So what made you want to get into making films, or do you still want to be in films as well, you think?
I 100% still want to be in films, but I love storytelling so much that that's what I wanted to do. I mean, I also am a published author. I have a novel. I love telling stories and talking about things that inspire me and have things with a powerful message. So
yeah. So talk a little bit about this film and what it's about, some of the characters.
Yeah, for sure. So this film is about a high schooler whose name is Hudson, and he is kind of, he definitely has some sort of depression. He doesn't really get along well with his friends, his family. He doesn't really have a lot of hobbies. I think I described him in the script as like a husk of a person. And then he starts seeing this mysterious girl around his high school. Her name is Evangeline, and she starts luring him to a bunch of different locations, one of which being the bandshell, where he sees a band and learns he loves music, another where he goes to the library and starts to make friends, and then he sadly passes away, and he learns that Evangeline was a fallen angel who wanted him to discover himself and live his life before he couldn't. And I changed the ending. He comes back alive, so his heart stops for a minute, and then he meets Evangeline, and then he comes back alive.
Wow, very exciting. So how would you, what genre would it fall into movies?
Definitely a coming of age and drama. I like to do a little bit of magical realism as well. I love stories and ideas that kind of blur the lines between reality and fantasy. So
cool. There was a line, you sent me some information about it, and you had a line in there about part of it was connecting community, and that, which is a lot of what our podcast is about. So how do you feel like what you do connects or creates community?
Oh, okay. So in terms of in the film, a lot of what I wanted his character arc to be was to connect with his community. He connects with his friends at school. He connects with his family. He connects with the local bands that are playing and performing music. In terms of the film, that's what I kind of thought of as community, but as just a larger statement of fact, I think that film definitely creates community 100%, depending on messages that are shared and important voices that are being heard, and especially us in our little town of Mokena. I mean, film creates community because we're all, thank you so much by the way, gathering together to support this film, which in the bandshell theater. So I think it definitely creates community.
And so one of the things, the main reason why we wanted to come out is because you want people from the community and that to come out and be part of the film, right?
Yes.
So what's your ask? What are you hoping for?
Okay. Thank you all so much for tuning into this. We are going to be filming here. It's going to be an early morning on May 8th from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. And if anyone wants to drop by, we would love to include anyone who's available as an extra in this scene. We got to do our best to fill this stadium. So if anyone would like to come out and just watch, we have an indie band called Spider Baby coming and actually performing. So if anyone wants to discover new music or just chill and hang out, we will have free food and, you know, cool, you can meet new people, meet some film kids from Chicago and interact with, you know, other people here at Mokena. So yeah, it'll be a really fun time.
That's awesome. So who else are you making the film with? Tell me about some of the other...
Yeah, so I'm making the film actually. My producer and my director of photography are two of my best friends at DePaul. It's a lot of just my close friends we're getting together, and this is the first, like, real short film that we are producing as sophomores. Yeah, because we're still we're still lowerclassmen. So it'll be an experience, definitely. Some you know, things we're still figuring out because we are still learning. But yeah, it's just basically a bunch of best friends we're coming together to make this film.
Is there anything else you want to share? Any more information we should know? Like, when do you think we can see the film? Where will it be when it's done?
So we are still figuring that out. The film, its release date, because we would like to enter in festivals, it may be around like later summer. It has a little bit of a production time, but we will definitely be premiering it. We're still figuring out those details with my producer, but trust me, you'll be the first to know.
Yeah, let's go. Maybe we can do something here at the barn, or that'd be pretty cool, right?
That would be so cool.
So before we go, being a seasoned actress as you are, since you're if little kids are listening or young people are listening right now that think they'd love to get into film, whether it be being in or behind the camera, what would your advice to them be? How would they get started?
Okay, honestly, first of all, my number one piece of advice, and I'm actually writing a book on this now, that's my second novel. It is to honestly never give up on your dream and never let go of the thing that gives you that spark inside of you. Never let that go. There were times where I thought, you know, it would be better if I went into a more, you know, practical profession that would get me a stable income and everything like that. There will be money in every sort of profession. Do what makes you happy, because at the end of the day, you only get one life. Especially if you're acting, to just jump in there. I mean, there are so many student films that are shooting year-round, and we are always looking for actors, and either actors or even crew members if that's what you're into. I'd say that if you want to get experience with people who are in the industry or in film school, but aside from that, honestly, just start making stuff. The more you have on your portfolio, the better off you will be, and the more likely that people are to notice you. So yeah, just get out there with your phone and start making movies. I mean, I know Sean Baker made his first movie called Tangerine on an iPhone. So yeah, just get out there and start making movies and never give up, okay? That might sound cheesy, but never give up.
That's awesome. Hey, that's some great advice, and congratulations. And yeah, best of luck with everything. I can't wait to see the finished product.
Thank you, and thank you so much for having me.
Oh, absolutely.